Alzheimer's, whether it's Alzheimer's for men who forget their wives or ladies' birthdays. I'll be investigating that because we forget our own, and that should be some terrible form of Alzheimer's. My guest, Dr. Muganga, is laughing. I'll be asking him a few questions on that, but of course we are going to be discussing loan scheme contribution towards access to education. Just a preamble before we go ahead. Many Ugandans are challenged with higher education access due to exorbitant fees, hence leaving many without attaining the much coveted higher education. This gap has been identified by many, and works to fight the situation are in progress, though a lot still needs to be done. Government, through higher institutions of learning, started a loan scheme to enable Ugandans attain education. Are also private institutions like Victoria University have adopted the program to help sustain and uplift education at higher level, including a lot of other initiatives like grade 3 teachers policy to join the bachelors later. And here to speak to us is the Vice Chancellor of Victoria University, Dr. James Muganga. A very warm welcome and good morning.
Good morning, Chris. How are you doing?
We were laughing about the fact that, is it Alzheimer's? Have you suffered loss of memory of your lady friend or sister, anybody's birthday, and they've been like, what?
If you want to ever be in serious trouble, you just do that. No, it's
so how do you beat that? Do you write it somewhere and then ensure that you always go back to it? You're like, oh, we have 1 month.
In my situation,
we have a few weeks.
In my situation, luckily I have children, so my kids are always on my neck when their mother's birthday is about to happen. Yeah. So they are like my calendar. They keep on, what are we doing for mom? Can we do this? Then you come up with different things.
Okay.
So how can you forget with that?
Yeah, sure.
So that's how we escape.
No doubt.
But it could be dangerous.
It could be very dangerous. So whoever is out there, if you have the kids, ensure that they know about the things so they can be your, the kind of scheme to ensure that you don't fall into a bit of trouble. We are talking the loan scheme and the fact that Victoria University has adopted it, and it's one of the initiatives to ensure that those who are unable to acquire the higher education that they might have coveted but are unable to pay for can actually come on board. First, take us through how Victoria University is part of this initiative in as far as the loan scheme for education is concerned. So
what happens is that for a university, first of all, to be part of this scheme, you have to be a chartered university in this country. Okay. And I think there are only 11 private universities that are chartered, in this country. Of course, plus the public universities. Yeah. So that's a given for the public. They are always part of this pool. So for the private universities, you have to only be chartered. So Victoria University is chartered, first of all. So now, when you're chartered, also your courses, programs have to be accredited.
That's right.
All right? And now that's when they throw them in that pool. So now, in our search to make sure that we extend aid, we can call it aid, to most Ugandans who have that thirst to study at Victoria University.
That's right.
Right? So we come up with different initiatives where we don't give bursaries to people who are in need. Maybe we give scholarships to those people who are totally in need, right? Or sometimes we even allow people to pay in different installments. And to the most extreme, we make sure that we have become the most affordable university, right? Okay. But when the worst comes to its worst, then we say, okay, can we work with the Higher Education Students Financing Board, now that we are chartered, to extend that kind of student loan to most Ugandans who may wish to come to us and now benefit from this scheme. So that's what we always try to do, because if you look at Ugandans around the country, at least for us, we believe as a university that we want to transform society, and society is not just buildings or systems; they are people.
They are people.
So, and those people, some of them, they are unable to even afford even the affordable tuition.
Even the affordable tuition.
Right? By the time you fail to afford the affordable tuition, you need help.
You need help.
So that's how now the Student Financing Board comes in.
Okay.
And then we signed that kind of MOU to get together and extend this kind of quality education to different people.
Now, despite such interventions and synergies between the Loan Scheme Financing Board and other institutions to integrate those that are unable to achieve their dream for education, there are those that have consistently said that this is also an elitist arrangement that happens to benefit most of the students who are able or who have the ability in terms of connections here and there to access it. The ones that are in far-flung areas, for example, a place as far as Palabek. These are places that perhaps even those that could be able to read the newspapers to see how this arrangement is rolling out are unable to. They are not even listening to local radio to be able to hear some of the officials perhaps talking about it. How are they reached?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's the most challenging situation we live in right now. And most of my call, or even my colleagues' calls, like from different institutions of higher learning, is that we have always really called upon government to extend different communication infrastructure, anything that can aid communication to the last mile.
That's right.
It could be internet infrastructure, it could be radio and everything, to really make sure that the citizens of this country are aware. But having said that, so that's why, like in most cases, now I speak for Victoria University, we have made sure we try to traverse the country in different using different platforms, even if it means using agents in different districts and district chairmen and women to try to tell the people that we have these facilities or different types of schemes that your people can really benefit from and uplift themselves from the situation they are in.
That's right.
So we talk about the district bursaries, now we talk about the Higher Education Students Financing Board loan scheme. We talk about sometimes the Ruparelia Foundation has scholarships that they offer through us. So we talk about all those. We tell MPs, tell your people, they can benefit from something like this. So we spread like that. So then we see these people coming to us. Now, what do we do then when it comes to applying for this student loan? We have put in place a dedicated desk to help these people to answer exactly questions as asked by the board, such that at least you minimize any chances of saying that this student has failed to meet this criteria or this requirement. Why? Because you know, as a university, you know the requirements, so you help them go through this, and then you make sure, because there is a requirement, that the board has to send a representative down to the people, these people, to verify that this person is actually in need. Not this person who is a well-to-do person already. No, they require, one of the requirements is to have a map of where you live. I don't know if they're going to use a pin, a Google pin.
Interesting there.
Yes.
Tell us, or rather take us through some of the most the visible FAQs, the frequently asked questions with regard to being able to access the scheme itself, but most importantly, the questions that might be asked by the board or even the university to those that are seeking to be part of this, that they need to actually be ready to face. You could share with us.
So the most questions, of course, we ask everyone, and what, of course, the board would ask is okay, are you, do you have the two principal passes? All right? You want to benefit from this. First of all, do you have what it takes to benefit from this? Two principal passes. Number two, did you study a science-related subject or program?
That's right.
Now, once you check those two, then we start asking, okay, are you in need? Describe to us what your need looks like. Because now everyone will start, these resources are meager, but everyone will start applying for this. Describe to us what your need looks like. Now, when your answer is, you pass that you have that checklist addressed, then you have to be considered. But of course, there are some people, and I want to say this, who may not have the two principal passes, and they are totally.
You just preempted it on me.
Thank you. You see, you're totally in need, dire need to even to be precise.
That's right.
So we say, okay, don't again worry about that. You come to us, first of all.
Yes.
We put you in an accelerated program we call the Higher Education Certificate, as crafted by the National Council. They knew, National Council for Higher Education, that such people
will be there.
May be condoned to something that is not desirable or neglected.
That's
so
right.
we educate you in 8 months, then you can apply for this loan scheme to pursue your higher for your bachelor's degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Talking about the cost of education, the schemes, including the loan scheme, are ensured to ensure that the average Ugandan is able to get this. We do hear about student loans in the United States and the long-term payment schedule. When somebody has studied successfully and perhaps acquired a job, how do they repay this loan?
So if you talk about in developed countries, even as we are developing, we'll get we'll get there. So those folks, their loan is paid almost lifetime. Right, as long as you're still alive, you can still pay. And how different it is.
No pressure.
No pressure. And how, again, it is very different. For them, within the loan, they call it actually student aid.
Student aid.
Not even a loan. So within the aid, you pay back only a percentage that was spent on tuition. Anything you spent on scholastic materials, accommodation, food, that's a grant.
That's a grant.
So usually you find that they pay back like 30% of the entire fund they received.
Yeah.
So ours is a little bit different. Of course, you could understand, given the scarce resources. So now you're only given 7 years.
Only 7 years after gaining employment after finishing the education.
After graduating, you are given a period of grace, which is 1 year. 1 year. That means you have to run around and get a job. And that's where you are on an advantage if you came to Victoria University. Now, this is when, the way we educate you, we make sure that at least you can get something to do
within a year
before you even graduate. We are trying our best to make sure that the other education that is looking at leaving everything as it used to be, it needs to be changed. People need to get something to do to be able to support themselves, their families, the community, the country. So in a year, we presume through our career employability program, you are able to get something. And then after that period of grace, you start paying back what you got from government. And in the next 6 years, you finish paying back. And if you are in an affordable institution, you are looking at paying back about 12 million. 12 million for the entire money you may have gotten from the
for that particular education that you acquired. Yes. Allow me smuggle this into the frequently asked questions. If I've graduated, however, the job has been not forthcoming, even after a year, I could work for a year and then perhaps lose the job. Yes. It's very rampant in Uganda to lose a job and stay unemployed for 4 years. What happens then?
Yeah, because here is the thing, and we definitely ask those questions. Number one, which was also my worry and the worry of everyone who is even trying to access this, is, are you attaching any collateral security to this scheme, this loan? Now,
interesting.
The answer is no. There is no attached collateral security. You will not attach your father's land or house or anything. No. It is, the security is you, the borrower. So meaning, if you are incapacitated, for example, you say I am sick today and I'm unable to work for the next 2 years, the loan scheme, there's an insurance built in. So they will take care of that. Now, if I'm not working, definitely they understand you don't work and you have proof that you don't have a job. So you can only pay back if you have a job.
Wow. Talk to us about the grade 3 teachers policy to join a bachelor's. What is it and how does it solve the, where does it fit in this jigsaw puzzle that is the education sector?
Very interesting. If there are people that I call my living heroes are always teachers. And when you go back to the grade 3 teachers, those people are amazing. But here is the challenge. There is something we call the teacher policy. I think it was adopted by Cabinet in 2019. where at least in 10 years that time, they are supposed to be graduates with a bachelor's degree.
That's right.
But these people, as we all know, they are the most least paid people.
One of.
Okay, one of.
They're in that pool.
Yes, but
there are so many other people
teachers
who are
supposed to be paid
well,
better,
including broadcasters.
Yeah, including broadcasters.
I can never tire to
now
put a word for
I'm
us.
going to start advocating for broadcasters.
Lovely.
Right? I'm going to do that. Now, but teachers, because all of us, you and me, and everyone watching who has gone to school, you have to go through the hands of these teachers.
That's right.
Primary teachers, the grade 3 teachers. Now, if you're saying today is 2022, now they have like 6 to 7 years to have acquired a degree for them to still stay in the service they love.
That's right.
So someone needs to do something to accelerate them. Now we are saying like grade 3 teachers, you can come to Victoria University and as you can still stay on your job. Take advantage of the in-service learning arrangement that we have. That means during your holidays,
that's right,
you come to Victoria University with your grade 3 teacher certificate. We will have you into a degree program. You as a bachelor's in education, you're a teacher. You're not looking to become an engineer or a medical doctor, but you just want to do what you do always, to become a teacher. So you come through our in-service learning program. During your holiday, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we take you through that intensive program in 3 weeks, then you go back and teach. After that, you come back again for that time. But even beyond that, we have a scheme where they can even access laptops, and they continue learning even when they are still doing their job.
That's right.
Wherever they are. But now, threading it into this is that even the little money they were supposed to pay, they can now apply for student loan, all right, to be able to supplement the little they may have, keep it, get a student loan, pay for that tuition, and then finish your degree. By the time the teacher policy comes into implementation, you have the degree that the government wants for you to remain a teacher.
All right, we are rather entering the final bend of the discussion. 2 issues. First, the Loan Scheme Board recently had put a deadline to the latest disbursement. However, it's been extended. That communication has not been as forthcoming as it ought to be. Has it been communicated to you? And well, also, yes, have you communicated to the people who are looking at benefiting from that
recently,
arrangement?
I think that was a day before yesterday. Today is what, Wednesday? Monday.
Today is Wednesday.
We had a press conference when we had an opportunity. That press conference coincided with our new students orientation. Yeah. So, and then we were signing that MOU between us and the board. Yes. So we had an opportunity for them to communicate it to us officially, that extension, I think, which goes to, I think, 15th October. Yeah, should be 15th of October. 15th October. That's the ample time for everyone to put in their application. So we also had the opportunity to communicate it to the students, many students present, and those who were following in different platforms, you, the media, and others, you carry that message. That's so right. I'm confident that they made that pronouncement, and the media fraternity also helped to really saturate it around, and people use the remaining days to benefit from that. And those who need help, and by the way, even if you're not going to come to Victoria University, but you need help apply, we transform society. We just don't transform anyone who is coming to Victoria. You may even be interested in going to another university. Come, we'll help you apply and be successful. All right, allow me cast the spotlight a little bit more on something you spoke about earlier, how you're helping students gain employment or put them in a position where they are employable even when they are still studying. It's a big challenge across the country today. Even those that are graduating begin to, well, understand the realities of the job market when they do. Take us through some detailed explanation of how that is happening. Are you engaging employers so that there is a steady stream, for example, in a particular industry, them knowing that from Victoria University we have a pool of about 60 students per either 6 months or
whatever term that has been accorded to it?
So, very, very good question, Chris. So, what happens at Victoria University is a determination to choose either to follow the normal practice as it has been.
Yep.
And if you follow something normal as it has been, don't expect different results. You get the same results.
The same results.
We don't want to get the same results that we are seeing today when students complete their studies. No, we have to do something better. So we chose to come up with a few innovations. Now, first of all, every student who comes to us, we have to make sure that we understand what is their purpose or their interest or their passion.
Yeah.
And that is done by a program we have put in place called the Career Employability Program. It has staff that now sit down with these students as the new ones, as they come in. And then they take time to understand their interests, their passion, the purpose in life, and then they start giving them the soft skills required, right? So once you give them the soft skills required, until you get you have to be certified within that, by that program. Then anyone who has acquired every soft skill required by the employer, then we have different partnerships with different entities. Then we say, we come to NTV, we say, for example, can we work together? You're the employer. Every time you're looking for employees, instead of you spending money training these employees, can you co-educate with us? Because we can't educate alone for your employees.
That's
we
right.
can co-educate. So you give us 10 placements, for example. Then we'll bring those students. We work with your staff to be able to supervise these students to get experience, which experience I can't teach them in class. Then we are saying that we have crafted our curriculum and program to allow them have more time to be at the workplace than they need to be in the classroom. Why? The content we talk about, they can have it anytime on their learning management system and their phones or tablets, and we're even giving laptops as well. So, but the experience, they can pick it up from it. At the end of the day, 3 years into their programs, maybe some of them, Chris has identified 2 as very, very good, and you can keep them. Or they have the skills to be taken by someone else. So that's what we are trying to do.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Dr. James Muganga, the Vice-Chancellor at Victoria University, for the insight on the loan scheme and its contribution towards access to education, but also on some of the initiatives that are being undertaken by the institution to ensure that those that pass by the corridors at VC, that is a Victoria Victoria University, can be able to acquire a life-changing opportunity and skills. That's it for this particular discussion. We are coming back with another that, of course, touches on deaf community and how the challenges therein are being addressed. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.